Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Again, I'm your host, Keisha Lancelin. Thank you so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we're going to tell you how and why to go ahead and put that house on the market. You've been thinking about it, you've been wavering. Well, I am here with real estate expert Rhonda Duffy, and she's going to tell you how to do it. Rhonda, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, what do you think is holding people back from going ahead and putting the house on the market?
I think they believe that they can't get the price that they want. And they're absolutely wrong. It is a seller's market. It has been a seller's market. I've been on all media talking about how the fact it's a seller's market. And you know, a lot of buyers are frustrated. Yeah. So this is the time to capture their interest. The interest rates are low, right? Inventory is low. And it's the time. A lot of people have been sitting around with their houses and they have had in their mind, I'd like to move to XYZ, or I'd like to move out of town. You know, so this is the time.
This is the time to do it.
Definitely.
Okay, so if you've been thinking about it and now you hear it, this is the time to do it. What is our first step? What should we be looking for in a realtor?
Well, I think in an agent, you need to ask, are you full-time? What are the modes and medias that you're going to put me in to sell my property? Okay. Are you experienced in doing the key terms and things that happen when you get an offer, right? And it's shocking to me, but the average agent sells 1.5 transactions per year. So that's not really enough to understand how to get something done if something goes haywire. You know, sometimes we have appraisal issues, sometimes we have financing issues, we have due diligence periods that need to be really transacted in a way that's powerful for the seller or for the buyer, depending on how you're doing that. So I think you have to do your research. You have to ask them, let me see what you've sold. I need to understand what you've sold. Just because you meet somebody and they say they're an agent does not mean they're any good. First lesson.
Now, can we go to your website and maybe get some, I don't know, tips or some maybe questions, those kind of things? Do you put those things on your website as well?
Yes, and people can chat with us on the website and ask questions too. Okay, so I think that that's very powerful in trying to get an understanding. Real estate has always been an industry where you met somebody maybe at church or somebody who's part-time an agent and you work with them and you think, oh, they must be an agent and they must be licensed. Well, you know, the real estate bar to entry is only 75 hours online.
Ooh.
So,
that's good to know, Rhonda.
Now let me compare that to a cosmetologist. That's 3,500 hours in school to cut hair for $20. At Great Clips.
Wow.
An agent who's transacting and working with your highest asset in your portfolio in most situations gets paid tens of thousands of dollars in most situations. And they don't have that experience. So I think you do have to look at that. Last year, for instance, we sold 1,517 houses, 1,517 houses. That's a lot of what-if scenarios.
All right, so you've gotten us interested. We're ready to get our feet wet. What are some things we should start doing just to keep the house, I don't know, show ready once we decide to put it on the market?
Well, I think the first thing people need to do is declutter, right? We all have a lot of clutter. Most people in America have clutter. So if you're sitting around thinking, I might be a little piggish, you're like most. All right, so just declutter, right? Clean, all right? Depersonalize. And all of that is, when I say declutter, depersonalize, and clean, I don't mean that you spend 3 weeks doing that. Okay, because in that 3 weeks you're still living there, right? I mean that you do a light brush and put it on the market. Because there are so many people right now who are desperate to find properties. They got into the market and they just can't find what they need. The average days on market for us is 32 days.
That's it?
32 days on market. Okay? Now we have some people who are way over that, but it's because they're just not right in the key area of where somebody's looking, or maybe they're sending out energy that's like, well, I'm not sure if I really want to move, right? So, but more than not, we have people come in and they're like, wow, this happened so fast, I don't even, you know. And the other thing to know is if you don't know where you're going, you have a little bit of time if you work the contract correctly where you can be out looking while they're doing the inspection, right? And this takes a savvy agent to figure this out. You've got to have this inside the contract to where if in fact you cannot find someplace that you want to go, you could pay the buyer back for their inspection. Right? So you do a reverse type contingency. It's rare, but it can happen.
It can happen.
Right, because anything can happen in a contract as long as it's agreed to, right? So you just want to be in a position where you can put your house on the market and see what you can get.
All right. Well, Rhonda, now you've got to give the website because people are going to want to know what kind of tips that you have and who can ask these questions to.
And here's the thing. Even though we have tips, just put your house on the market.
Do it now.
Don't sit around and wait and think,
and try to get all these tips done.
Because you probably have a full-time job, right? You're probably busy with your family, and you don't have a lot of time to put your house on the market. Just put your house on the market.
Do it. Get it done.
Do it. Just do it. And then work on it as you go along, okay? Because just think, if you didn't have to do a whole lot and you were able to successfully get a buyer, wouldn't you be ahead? Right?
Absolutely.
All right, it's DuffyRealtyOfAtlanta.com.
Okay.
DuffyRealtyOfAtlanta.com. If you go there, you go to the blog section, you're going to get more tips than you need.
Nice.
Just put your house on the market.
Just put your house on the market.
Right.
That is the tip for the day, Rhonda.
That's the tip for the day. Just do it.
I love it. All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It was good to meet you.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Giving you all the information that you need. Rhonda says, just put the house on the market. Go ahead and get it done quicker, sooner than later, and then we'll start working on the tips. But go to the website, learn a little bit more, and learn how to find the experienced agent that you need. And stay tuned to more Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back.